Yeah, change shit so that it gets to where you want to be. You control your energy and the universe that you want to put out. We're not followers, none of us. We all need to be leaders. I believe that we have to put a mark, we have to, in this world for who we are.
Hi New York Reelers, welcome to New York Reel. See, this is how New York City is when we're having a rainy day. People are still out, some with umbrellas, some without. I'm under this blue umbrella here trying to introduce to you my next guest. About 2 years ago, 2014, I was working on this movie called Sisters starring Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, and it was such a wonderful project to be a part of. And I remember meeting the choreographer for us on set one day, this lady with a hat on, she's so stylish. Her name is Tanisha. Tanisha has worked with the biggest name in the world, not just New York City. She choreographed for Sean Paul, for Beyoncé, Rihanna, Drake. You would have seen her in the new hit Hotline Bling, Dancing with Drake. That's Tanisha. So you all know who she is now. We talk about everything, Jamaica, about dancing, creative directing, being on the road, and just living in her favorite city, New York City. Without further ado, enjoy my interview with Tanisha Scott. This is New York Reel. I'm Olive. Today my guest is Tanisha Scott.
Yay!
You are a three-time MTV VMA-nominated choreographer. You have directed our movements on screen on the movie Sisters.
Yes.
And you have been traveling around and doing creative directing and also choreographing, and you're originally from Toronto.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to have you on my show. We finally
I
coordinated.
We finally did it. Thank you for being patient with me with this. I've been dying to do this interview with you forever, ever since Sisters. But at least now I have even more stories to tell you.
Welcome to New York Reel.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you gave me a great compliment earlier when I'm talking about lighting. You said I reminded you of Beyonce.
Yes.
I was like, what?
No, you do.
How was working with Beyonce?
Working with Beyonce was probably one of the most special moments of my career. And the reason why I say that is because she not only is a true professional in what she does, but she allowed me to completely be me and give her what I thought was right for her. She was like, whatever you think, whatever comes out of you, that's what I want to do. But how you've reminded me of it is actually something really special. Many years ago when I was just dancing in music videos, and Hype Williams came to me and said, you know what? You're really exceptional at what you do as a dancer. You should look into choreography. And I'm like, nah, I just want to dance, whatever. But he's like, no, there's something special about you. But when you do get into that field, because he was like, I don't care what you say you're going into, but when you do get into that field, what you have to do is make sure that you know everything that surrounds your craft. So of course, your vocabulary and dance is important, but not just that. It's cameras, it's what the DP does, it's the lighting, it's everything around to make what you do that much greater. So I actually took myself and went to the New York Film Academy for 6 months to do music video directing, but not because I want to be a director, but because I want to understand when the directors are talking and expressing to their clients, the artists, or whomever, what it is that they need them to do, why you need to stand a certain place, why you need to move bigger or smaller, all these different things about lenses and lighting, so that I understood how to make my choreography better. So when Hype told me that, I got it. then going back to what I was saying about you and Beyonce is like when we did the Upgrade You video, there was a moment where she was telling the director, this light, I need to stand here, this light should move over here because my movement is going to happen this way and this is going to look this and that. So just hearing her and seeing the way that she not only allowed me to give her what I gave, and she takes in and she listens to everybody, but at the same time she knows her shit, you know? So she's very gracious, but she's really smart and aware of all her surroundings. So that's reminding me of her when you're like, Tanisha, sit over here more because of the light. So it triggered that. It reminded me of her, which reminded me of Ike, which is reminding me of a few different things. So
wow.
Yes, kudos to women working in this industry that know their shit. So yes, basically you know your shit, girl.
Thank you. I'm learning as I go. I told you, started New York a year ago, and I don't know anything about camera or sound. Just learn as we go.
Exactly.
And interesting you talking about lighting, because I read an interview about your video with Drake, and you talk about a lot of times you were coaching the movement, but lighting was such an important thing because Director X, he has his very special signature lighting and vibe, and so you describe lighting as like water. Yeah,
it is. And I think mainly for that video,
which is Hotline Bling.
Yeah, mainly for Hotline Bling, the lighting was so crucial. Director X had this amazing system going where the lights were literally moving like water. It was so fluid, and that was a dance. So we had to match.
So it's like the three of you.
Exactly. It's the lighting, Drake, and myself. Or Drake, or the lighting featuring Drake featuring Tanisha.
Ooh.
Yeah. But no, like it was so incredible just to see that it actually dictated a lot of times how we shot, the times that we shot, because they had to get it technically right. And where he stood, all those things definitely made a difference, especially with the stairs. He was working with like dimensions and all those different things. So math, girl, is very important. Technical stuff is very important. Like just
technology, it's like science and art.
Yeah, literally combined. That is so true, and that's exactly what Hotline Bling was. It was science and art mixed together. It's like the right brain and the left brain. Okay, let's work together. It's like, it was amazing.
And it wasn't rehearsed.
It was not rehearsed at all. We actually I was there because, I also do performance directing, and along with the choreography. But he was thinking that, okay, well, we had dancers in the video too. So I was mainly there for that as well as for him too. But one moment he was just like, T, this is Drake. Drake says, T, like, I think I want to dance. What do you think? And I'm like, what do you mean what I think? Go for it. Just do it. You just got to be all you though. And he's like, for real? And I'm like, yeah. So he went out there, and the whole time I'm just like coaching him along. Every time we cut, we go back and we'll watch the monitor, and he's like, oh, that's why, and that's why. And the funny thing is, he knew prior to all these memes and stuff that was gonna happen. He's like, oh yeah, they're gonna get me on this. Oh yeah, that's a good one. And then each time we went out to take, it was like, let's go even further, let's go even further. And he was just like, he just let himself go, you know, and he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna have fun. Yeah. And to think that somebody like him, who's not a dancer, who's not trying to be a dancer, had the biggest video of halfway for the last almost 4 or 5 years, and people just talked about him dancing. That was the part that people were talking about more than anything else.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like, we're used to like the Michael Jackson videos and the Beyonce videos and the Chris Brown, look at the dancing, and it's cool. But his was talked about even more so than theirs.
So he did it outside of his comfort zone.
Exactly. Him, Sean Paul, all these guys that I got, like I just get them to just go out there, be you, and that's it. because that's what works, is your true authentic self, no matter what. Any type of cookie cutter, this, if you try to put somebody in a box, we can see right through that. And at the same time, it's easy for our audience to get bored. Like, okay, anybody can do this. But everybody has a significant different signature, a different fingerprint. And when you become and you expose that and let people see, people gravitate to you more. And also opens up other people too to like live their life the way they want to.
Yes.
So that's how I feel about choreography, about performance coaching, is I really get into my artists and pull out the best of them. I become their mirror, where it's like, this is what you're giving me and this is great. Do more of this, do less of that. Now, how about you turn your back? So I'm just molding a sculpture that's already there, pretty much. Yeah.
What do you, what's your take on building on your strength compared to working on your weaknesses?
Ooh, wow, that's a great question.
Because we have limited time. We either do one or the other.
Yeah.
Maybe 50-50, but what do you think?
Let me think about that. Dang. Say it to me one more time.
How much time should we spend on building what we are already good at, our strength, or correcting, improving what we are not good at, which would be our weaknesses?
Without a doubt, I really had to think about that. And my true self feels it is always better to work on yourself, on your own true strengths, because once you do that, you get stronger and you also find things that you didn't know that you could do, as opposed to building on what you think and you know is right. Let me make this better. I believe you can go further with what you can naturally do and push it, because you don't know where the end result is. If you try to own on and build up on your weaknesses to make them stronger, you can only get so far, I believe. You'll make that stronger and that's it, because that's where your focus is. But when you're so good at something and you keep pushing it, it can only get that. Like it can go even further than you can expect.
And confidence.
And confidence. Oh my gosh. And that's everything. Confidence, conviction is everything. A lot of times you see people in this industry who may not have the chops for something, but their perseverance and their dedication and their confidence says it all. Completely. That trumps everything. And I believe without that, you will ever know your potential. And you can move mountains. You can literally move. You can probably fly if you want to fly. You're like, I believe I can fly. You can probably fly. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, this coming from you is very powerful, and I know like every day you working with the biggest names in the industry, in film, TV, music, even theater.
Yeah.
Like in the research.
Oh my God.
You just got off a tour with Rihanna, right?
Yes, I did.
How was touring? Last time we talked, you were in Amsterdam, which is like my
that's
number
right.
one place.
Oh God,
How was the day in and day out working and resting, and how was your routine?
Unbelievable. So I just finished doing a part of the choreography for Rihanna's Anti tour. We just went to Europe to start the European leg because the American leg is finished. That's great. Working with her is phenomenal because she is an eclectic artist. She is Caribbean, but that doesn't define everything about her. She's a rock star. She's a pop star. She's a balladist. She's a woman, a strong woman who can pick up and say, I want to wear this today, or I want to sing this today. Like all her songs, like you can't really put her in a box of anything. So I commend her. And this tour was great because we have different styles of dancing. We have flexing, which is like bone breaking, we have house dancing, we have voguing, we have hip hop, we have Caribbean. Her whole tour is an array of different styles of dance and high fashion. At the same time, her dancers are like decked out in these like really cool, interesting outfits, which is totally high fashion, and her stage is like Art Deco. She like mixes and matches things in an amazing way that only she can. So it was great. So I just finished that. I also am about to start working on Drake's tour. We're gonna add dancers for him. Yes. This will be his first time adding dancers. So about to work on that, as well as I do a lot of performance directing and startup tours and shows for new artists. Hence, there's a girl named Kiara, Bryson Tiller, Division, Secret Weapons. There's like an array of different artists. So I do work with like the top artists, from the Mariah Careys, Rihanna's, Beyonce's, Whitney, oh God bless her soul, like the Whitney Houstons and whatnot. But then where my true heart lies is these new artists, be it dancers, singers, rappers, and helping them and teaching them, you know, how to hold a mic. What do you say when the crowd isn't really responding? You know, how to let go, how to breathe, how to, you know, get them with the right stylist, the right vocal coaches, and, you know, the right things that they should have on their stage. Okay, do you want a band? No, it's more of a DJ show. You know, so putting those together at the very beginning of their careers is like the most exciting thing. It's like seeing a butterfly right before it comes out the cocoon, and then you're like, yes, you made it. So I think every time, whenever I watch award shows, my favorite award to see is to see the nominees, and then to see who wins for Best New Artist of the Year or Best New Song. You know, because that's just the tip of the iceberg for them, for this long road that they are about to travel and get onto. So helping them as being like their first teachers is the best thing to me.
And you were there to hold their hands and
it's awesome. Like I did that with Neo, and look where he is right now. You know, work with him at the very, very beginning. Sean Paul, like it's been really, really awesome. You know, being able to come from Toronto and start off as a dancer who wasn't trained, but who just loved dance, and then seeing where I fit. And, you know, the lifespan of a dancer is only so far. Because after a while, girl, your bones just start breaking regardless. You know what I mean? But yeah, your lifespan only goes so far. And then after that, usually people will think choreography, or you can go into acting. You can do whatever you want. But through my journey of dance and pushing, I realized very quickly that my gift is in helping people, in the sense of, because I wasn't trained, I understand more so how it is for a new artist who hasn't had training before. It's like you don't really have that, unless if you're Beyonce or Michael Jackson, where you were raised to be an artist. Many people don't have that. And it's learning the discipline, and, you know, being able to fall down and knowing how to get back up and stuff. So because I wasn't trained as a dancer as a child, and I learned through just watching TV and going to the clubs underage and, you know, battling and whatnot, I learned to own that craft of mine. So now I can express to somebody how to do that, and put myself in their shoes when they're nervous and they're unsure of themselves and whatnot. I realized that's what people gravitated towards me as a sister figure, or as, you know, like a best friend, and like, okay, how do I do this? And because I've worked with the greats, I know how to help you get to that spot and get there gently, you know?
I remember the first day meeting you on the set of Sisters, where you were coaching us and Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who's directed by Jason Moore. And I remember seeing you before even knowing that you are going to be working with us. I was like, who is that? She is like glowing, shining. I think you have a hat on.
Yes, yeah.
It was exactly a year ago. And you just have that very warm presence. And we all want to like come to get to know you on set. And then during the lunch break, we were practicing.
Yes,
in this little
in the back room.
Yeah, and I
Really
think there is something so special about you.
Oh, you're so kind.
Just that everyone loves you.
You're so sweet. Well, I guess I get it, you know, because I've played those roles in a sense of being, okay, what I have to learn, especially for you guys. You guys were so great because you didn't even know that you had to
dancers, we're actors who move.
Yeah, and you're like,
Just
wait
moving.
a minute, how far? But the amazing thing with Jason was like, you know, I want to do a little bit of choreography with them. Do you think they can? And I was like, yeah, they can move. And he was like, yeah, can you? And I was like, I got you, because I was watching you guys too. Especially you. You're freaking amazing. You were like my assistant. Literally. And I'm like, I want to reach, first of all, I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing and do justice to it, right? Because we're looking up, what is that style again? You were sending me all these videos. The videos of the dancers, K-pop. Was it the K-pop? Yeah, K-pop. And then it's like literally on the spot. We're like, let's figure this out. Let's make this the best. And we all work together. Mm-hmm. You know, it was a joint affair. And that's a lot of times how I do choreography too. It's like, I don't just say, do this, take it. It's like, okay, let's work with what feels right. And with our outfits on and what makes sense. And then what is the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
You were so flexible.
Yeah.
And then we were like, how about this? You're like, okay, that can work too. And then you just like improvise with us.
Yeah.
And I knew that you weren't judging us.
No, far from. But you guys are really, really good though. And to know that he extended that moment because you guys were that much good. That much good. Because you guys were that good. He was like, I'm actually going to keep it in the movie a lot longer than the way we actually wanted it to be. Ooh. So kudos to you guys.
We were dancing with the foam.
With the foam, yes, exactly.
We got like allergy, but
oh my
but
god,
it was
really?
fine. It was still fun.
Oh my god! You see the bruises that we gotta go through just to make it work.
Yeah, people see the glamorous part.
They
but
always see the glamour
so much.
Girl.
You can see the bruises and the fall.
Yeah, they don't see that. And they don't care about that either. But it's okay. You guys don't need to know. But just know we work hard for the money. It's not easy.
So from Sisters, I heard Jodie Foster found out that you choreographed for Sisters. And then asked you to do Money Monster. And George Clooney's first on-screen dance was coached by you.
I know. Unbelievable. First, I was just like, George, who? First of all, Jodie, what? I'm like, me meeting with her? Really? Wow. I didn't even know. I was like starstruck in my head. Like, I don't understand what's happening. But I had a great meeting with her. She basically told me what the scene was about, and I asked her, is there a certain look or feel? She's like, no, whatever you want, whatever you feel. This is just a scene. She's like, I've seen your work, and I cannot tell you what I want to do or how I want things to look. It's whatever you feel. She just told me she wanted to make up a dance, a Money Monster dance, and that was it. And then it went from that to, okay, so do you have any dancers in mind that would be good to play along with him? And I was like, yeah, I can like send you some pictures and stuff. And she's like, well, anybody that you think would be great. And she's like, would you mind dancing? And I was like, me in a Jodie Foster film dancing beside George Clooney? Yes, no matter what. So it was myself and my good friend Shauna, and our rehearsals were amazing. Working with him, he's everything that you think he would be. He literally is a jokester. He's such a kind person. We had a rehearsal scheduled for 3 hours. The first hour we were working on movement, and the next 2 we were just talking about life.
Wow.
And he's there telling me what I should do later on and how I should take on opportunities. He told me about his career, how he started, the things that he was wondering about, and how acting fell, in his lap, and how now he's producing and directing. And I'm like sitting here having a real 2-hour conversation with George Clooney. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Talks about his wife, how they met, the parties he has, his house in Italy. And I'm like, I'm coming by. And he's like, of course, come by for dinner. I'm still waiting for the invitation, but it's okay. So he's still my best friend in my head, but it was fantastic. It was a great opportunity. And I think it's also a testament to anybody, no matter what you do, in particular in this industry, when you set yourself up to do something, always know that you never know who's watching, and your last job is like your business card. And it doesn't matter what you did prior to that. It's everything that you do, just do your ultimate best, because you don't know who's going to see it. You don't know who's going to inquire about it. You don't know who's going to be looking for something. Like, who would think Jodie Foster in a movie that she directed would need choreography? That's the last thing. You know what I mean? And just so happens that she told me that she loves dance. And she's always wanted to do something incorporating dance, but she's never had anything. And now they made this moment. Now part of this character is his arrogance, like I can do anything, I'm a dancer, his conviction, so it was like, okay, then maybe we need to have a dance element to show the type of show that he actually does every day. And, here's you go, little old me, just a little small smidgen of a part became something bigger. And at the same time, just like even with your guys' role in Sisters, it became that much bigger because it was that great and it felt good. The energy, like, you just never know. So always be prepared. Always be prepared no matter what.
And always say yes.
Always say yes. Always say yes. And because at the same time, if you don't know, you're just going to research and figure it out. Do the work, do your job, and don't limit yourself into anything, ever. Never put yourself in a box.
I remember you said in an interview that you will back your passion up with knowledge.
Yes, absolutely. I think that is the most powerful thing ever. To this day, I still go to classes. I'm in a lot of beginner classes, just so I can learn how to even teach a specific style to an artist. Or if I don't know everything, I would get an assistant and somebody who really does, to educate myself and the artist, or myself and just the dancers, whatever it is. Like, I'm always researching, not just through video, but I have to put my body through it too. Because if I'm telling you and expecting you to do something and I can't do that, that doesn't make any sense. And I want to help push you to limits that you don't think that you can reach. So with doing that, I literally have to put myself down in it as well. I got to go through the trenches with you. That's the only way we're going to learn together, and that's the way you're going to be able to trust me. I'm not just spitting a whole bunch of verbal goodness, liquid sunshine to you, telling you all these great things. I'm like, let's experience it together, and let's go as far as we can, and let's see what's right and what fits right. So definitely knowledge is so important.
I like the older I get, the more I'm amazed. Every day I wake up, I'm in this body. I can go and do things. I can dance. We can take fitness classes.
Absolutely.
And especially after an injury, I was super grateful for that, because I start from scratch again, from not using the crutches to taking all these classes. And I'm like, what have I been waiting for? Why was I not doing it when I was a teenager? Like, why didn't I take acrobatics?
Yeah, it's so true. So true. We never know, and we don't, it's not something that we just push ourselves naturally. We just gotta start one thing, and then it'll lead to the next, and then you find out more. Like, it's through reading, watching, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways to find inspiration, especially living in New York City. This, like, the city of, and I'll never leave here, the city of cultural stimulation to just music, entertainment. There's New York doesn't sleep, and I'm glad that she does not sleep because it's like there's so much to gravitate to get into that can just build your spirit, build your knowledge of anything. Like, how many people do you know in New York City that just have one job or one passion? Like, we're all doing so many different things, a lot of us, you know?
I always say do what you love and then find a way to pay yourself. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Like, don't think about what defines you. Just do everything.
So true. So true.
So you have so many homes.
Oh,
New York City is your home. Toronto is your home.
Yes.
And also your parents from Jamaica.
Yes, they are.
And you said you go since you were little. 4 times a year? Yeah. That's a lot. Every time you get a vacation.
Oh, I'm straight to Jamaica. Straight.
When was the last time you were there?
The last time I was in Jamaica, oh gosh, actually it's been a minute now. I was there for New Year's Eve, so January. I'm due a trip. I'm actually supposed to go next month. Okay. But for work purposes, I can't. Rihanna's doing the VMAs next month, so I have to push it to September. So hopefully it'll be September, but if work comes, we'll see. But yeah.
How is it like there? I've never been.
Oh my gosh. Jamaica is it's the beauty of Jamaica is undescribable. It's literally breathtaking. The beaches, the food, it's just the air. But what's best about it is the spirit, the energy. The dances is what I love. I love going and doing the street parties and the dance halls. It's just, we're there forever. You go out to party by like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you get home at like 7 or 8. And then before you get home, you want to eat food. Like, it's just, the energy there is unbelievable.
Do you get inspired?
I get extremely inspired by there because that's my roots. My parents are Jamaican, and my father was a DJ, still is. He plays for like a lot of house parties, like home parties and whatnot. But yeah, like it's definitely a place for me to kind of regroup, put my feet in the ground and just get rerouted again. And that's where my passion of dance started. It's the music, dance hall music, the drums.
Are you known for making it mainstream?
Yes, yeah. So every time I have to go back and just get, rebooted and just let myself loose and be free and just be one with my culture. So
sweet. You haven't written a book yet?
No, I haven't.
What would the title be if you write one?
Wow. The title of my book.
Pushing you to do it.
Yeah, I like that.
With a lot of photos.
Oh my god.
And then it comes with is it DVD, not a...
Yeah, like a little DVD or a disc or a...
Something that with music and seeing your dance. You must have to update your dance reel so often.
Oh my, I do. It's so bad. Like right now my agents are so mad at me because they're like, we're telling people in your resume it says you've done this, but it's not in your reel. Like, I don't even have
I watched one from 2 years ago.
And it's still the same one from 2 years ago.
But you have done so much in the last 2 years.
It has.
That's why we couldn't meet yet.
Oh my gosh. I'm working on that now. Woo. It's so hard to stop and get that done when I'm like, okay, before I do this, I need to get that footage. But then I always forget because I don't think about marketing myself, which is something let me go back. Maybe I should answer that later. Because that's part of one of your questions about what would I tell my 20-year-old self.
Okay,
so I would say that. Yeah, but
everyone's applying to be your assistant now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna edit your reel.
Right, and I do. Oh God, I need it badly. But yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I know it's been 2 years and counting, but I need to. Yeah, I have to update my reel.
I love your personal brand. It's not just a resume. It's not just a work, and it's everything about your energy.
Thank you. The title of my book would be Everything About My Energy. Yes.
Love it.
That hashtag, the girl underneath the hat, because I I'm known for all the music videos that I've done, which has been a lot, like almost 80 music videos. I always have a hat on. And it stems from two things. Too. Yes, and or a hood. And give me the light.
Yeah, give me the light.
Yes, yeah. So it started from that, just, two things being in this industry where you have to look a certain way. It doesn't really apply right now. But back in the days, it's like you have to look a certain way. And I wasn't the typical skinny, fair-skinned dancer. So when I'd be in the makeup truck, there'd be moments where it's like, oh, we don't really have the right color for you or whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? I got to run to set. Let me just put on a hat. And at the same time, it's also like, I don't want people to look at me. Don't look at me here. I want you to watch what I'm doing. So once I lock off my eyes and my face, you have to watch what my body is doing. So those are two reasons why I always wore hats. And at the same time, I wanted to be in more than one video. I can't be like, oh, we've seen you all the time. We can't have you in this one. I'm like, no, you haven't. I got a new hat on. So you don't know who it is. So, yeah.
That becomes your signature now.
Exactly. Always wearing a hat. So, for those three things. But, so the girl needs the hat is like, I have so many stories. You wouldn't believe. You're like, who is that? A lot of times in music, you're like, who's that girl? Who's that girl? I hear it all the time. Like, oh, I know who she is. Or, I'm like, oh, it's me. Really? Yeah, I got many stories to tell you. So, it will be one of those two titles.
I love it. I'm going to hold you accountable.
Okay, no problem.
Wherever you are around the world, how's the book writing going?
Exactly.
So, as a little girl, you have started dancing.
Yes.
And did you know that it would become your career? You were in a track team.
Yes.
Active.
I always secretly knew that I was going to dance. I did not know that you can make it a professional career, though. That I had no idea, but I knew that I wanted to dance. That's as far as it went. When I went to university, I joined a dance troupe, and from there I kind of understood more. Oh wow, you can actually be like a dancer on tour. And then from there, got on tour to then the choreography started, and I never wanted to be a choreographer. It just happened. So I learned a lot through, but ever since I was a kid, yes, I knew hands down that I wanted to dance. I knew that. And that's all I did. I thought I was going to be a belly dancer. I remember as a kid, my mom would put me on the table. I'm like, all right, everyone, when people are over, like, all right, everybody, come watch Tisha. Go ahead, and they'll give me like $1 here and there, and I'd like move myself. But then it got a little too suggestive. You know how little kids are like, Mom was like, don't do that. And I'd run up the stairs and be like, and then I'll shake my little butt again. Yes.
Not knowing that's actually
exactly
gonna be
the biggest thing now, twerking and all that. Mom was like, look at this little kid, fast ass. But it was so funny. But I always knew
the
I
history of twerking.
Yeah, I started from when I was in diapers. Oh gosh. But yeah, so I always knew.
What did you used to do with your sister? How many siblings do you have? I met one of your sisters.
Yes, I have 2 siblings. I have an older sister and a younger brother.
What did you guys play?
Oh gosh. Well, my sister and I would always act like we're on a dance show or I was on Broadway. But after a while, she started hating it because she was more into boys than like playing or acting around with me. My brother is really quiet. He loves sports. So that's his other thing. So he and I did track, and his biggest thing was soccer. But when it came to like the dance, my brother loves to dance too. He loves to freestyle now, but he was like a shy kid. It was so interesting. But my sister and I would like make up little routines together a lot. We thought that we were like the 2 girls in Kid and Play. And then we're like, nah, what they're doing is boring. Let's just be Kid and Play ourselves.
Like Tina and Amy.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was like, oh my God, this is really sisters. This is really my life. But, and we used to do this thing where we'd dance a lot in our basement with like our shadows, my sister and I. So instead of like making shadows, like puppet shadows. We'd like make dancing shadows and act like, oh look at my dance. So yeah, we do that a lot because my dad, like I said, was a DJ. Music was played in my house 24/7. 24/7. So somebody had to be a dancer and on the creative side in our family. My mom was like, what are you doing? You need to be a doctor. You need to be a lawyer. And I'm like, yeah. But it never really happened, so.
Tanisha, there are 3 questions I always ask my guests.
Okay.
Question number 1. What would you tell the 20-year-old Tanisha if you can Skype or FaceTime or Google Hangout or Zoom? Anyway, you can see her and talk to her. What would you tell her?
I would tell 20-year-old Tanisha not to limit herself. When I first started, the only thing that pushed me was because I loved to dance, but I had a lot of doubt. I never thought that I could come to the States to make it. I never thought that I could ever even be a choreographer. I never thought that I could make it at the level that I'm at right now, much less dance for major artists. But what pushed me was just because I love to dance, I couldn't stop. And because of that, it outweighed me doubting myself, because when the music came on, it was something I was in a different world. But if I could not have doubt and push myself even more, I would have been able to do and not turn down certain things and to do a lot more.
So not to limit yourself.
Yes, definitely not to limit myself, and don't put myself in a box at all. No. And that's also true for when I started doing choreography. I was coined as the dancehall girl, or the dancehall girl who makes up signature dance moves. But I knew there's so much more to me, because I love modern dance, I love tap, I love theater, but I never thought that I was good enough to express that and to go into these classes and audition for these things, because I wasn't trained. So I was like, oh, I can never do that, even though I loved those styles of dance as well. I just kept myself in that box. But because I started with choreography, it pushed me, and it said I had to learn more. And now I just say I'm a choreographer and I can do anything, because I really can. So if I had known that prior to, I would have definitely been a lot more stronger in my head and been able to do a lot different styles and different kinds of things earlier in my career, as opposed to just now.
Do you think that is because a lot of people have been telling us that you have to pick one thing? Like, this is what you do, and like, don't waste your time to do other things.
Yes.
And then we just feel like, okay, then I guess this is the only thing.
You just hit the nail on the head. The amount of times that I've heard, well, this is your genre, this is where you stay, you're only good enough to do this, that's it. I remember there was this time where I had a client, and she hired me because she just loved my energy, and she's like, let's try this and let's move outside the box. But the people surrounding her were like, no, Tanisha's great, but she can only do this, you need somebody else. But she's like, no, I'm gonna try this with her, and we did great things together. So yes, absolutely, I had you're only good enough in this, so you got to stay in this lane, because that's all you can do. So it allowed me not to be as creative as I could, and not to think of myself bigger than what I was. Definitely.
When you were 20, were you in Toronto or here?
I was here in New York.
Wow.
Yeah, I was back and forth. That was the time where I was like just starting to dance for artists, and the choreography started to happen a little bit. So yeah, everything was just like starting to bloom and stuff.
A lot of cool people from Toronto, I feel like.
I know.
Who are
it's
the
like
people that we don't know that are from there? Or that your friends in the industry?
Oh, it's from Toronto. Who are my friends? Well, okay, Director X. But who from Toronto that people don't know. Gosh, I feel like now everybody's waving the Toronto flag, so you know that. Now, yeah, my closest friends that are in this industry from Toronto are, of course, Drake. I've known him since he was on Degrassi. Melanie Fiona, another artist, singer. Toronto, that's an industry. Let's see. Oh, the lead actor in Race. He's from Toronto, and his brother Shamir. They were both in it's a movie that Oprah just did. About Malcolm X. Goodness.
We'll include it here after.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Canadian is my friend. That's
I think it's such a in Canada, like you're very encouraged. You're encouraged to do art and music.
Yes.
I've heard like the government will give you money to like work on creative
stuff.
Oh
my gosh, yes. We have this thing called Video Fact in Toronto where Canadian artists can get a grant to do their music videos. Yeah, they give you like, you can literally do your whole music video just off of the grant by itself. As long as you're Canadian. Like, we reinvest within our society when it comes to arts, entertainment, and culture. Definitely.
So sweet.
Yeah.
There is a Toronto reel. This is New York reel.
Oh,
Besides
really?
London reel, we have a global connection. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
She would love that we talk so much about Toronto.
Oh my God. Okay, tell her I said hi. Hi.
Her name is MJ.
Hi, MJ.
Okay, that leads us to question number 2.
Yes.
Can you please give us some advice on balancing these 4 areas in life? Health,
yes,
wealth, love, and happiness.
Definitely. Okay. 4 things. The first thing that's so important. Yes, health. We have to get sleep. Like really. Yes, we have to have sleep because you have to reboot. Because if not, your brain, and sleeping means no music, no TV. You have to allow your body to readjust. You have to allow your body to relax, figure itself out, and then come back again the next day. And also take vitamins. I know, especially living in New York City, I can really talk for it. We're so busy, we're always on the go. And we might eat a little bit here or there, but we have to take care of our body. So vitamins and sleep is so important. You don't want to forget
vitamins
stuff.
Do you take?
I take Woman's Ultra Mega, but it's New Earth. So get that at any Whole Foods, any actually organic type of grocery store or whatnot. But New Earth's brand of Woman's All Day Ultra, just pop it in and you're go. Yeah, definitely get that. And please sleep. Like, I cannot.
For metabolism and.
Yes, of course, for everything. Like,
do you dance? Do you find yourself dancing every day, or do you usually have like a day off here and there?
I have to make day offs, or at least if I don't have a full day off, I need time. Yeah, and just for my brain, because I'm always moving. And I'm always thinking about dance. I'm always like, I look at anything as inspiration.
Yes.
Down to the way a car drives, the way it reverses back, like just the movement of stuff, like everything to me.
Cars move like the driver. Like,
yes.
If I know the driver, the car moves exactly like how he walks.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. That, and I also look at it for staging when cars zoom in and out. Like I see anything as simulation for work, and for that I just need to just click off.
How much sleep do you get?
Not enough, but I do my best. I get at least right now I try to get at least 6 hours, even if it's in and out.
So ideally,
truthfully, ideally it should be 8. Truthfully, 4 hours. But I'm working on making sure that I get 6, even if I have to sleep on the train with one eye open.
I can sleep anywhere. Okay, so then health, wealth.
Wealth. I truly believe in saving, but not putting away a whole bunch of money because it's difficult, but having a separate bank account that will take out, even if it's $50 a week, $25 a week, $10 a week. You'll never miss it.
It's the Starbucks.
Yes, exactly. You'll never miss it. And the thing is, it's easier to get a bank to do it automatically as opposed to you yourself. Even if you're like, okay, yeah, you don't have time to always go to the bank. You have time to go to the ATM to take out money. And it's fun to put in, but it's not a thing where it's like, let me shift from this bank account to that bank account. So get a bank account that will take out money every so often, because we never know what's going to happen. You never know when the next gig is going to be there. You never know when you may have to fly somewhere for a gig. So you need that extra money. So the best way for us to save in this industry is to not know when money's coming out, but just a little bit at a time. I think that's really clever to do.
Good tip.
Yes.
As well. Love.
Love. Oh my gosh. You have to love what you do. When it becomes a job, don't do it. Life is too short. Life is way too short. Right now, we have all these different ailments happening, diseases. Like, cancer is not just for older people. Diabetes is not just for older people. Like, anything can happen. And I believe that we have to put a mark. We have to. In this world, for who we are. It's just for ourselves, for our legacy. We can't just walk around life just living. So because of that, we definitely have to make sure that whatever we do, we're happiest. And when we're at our happiest, that's when great things happen. That's when money flourishes. That's when love, finding the right person you want to be with, flourishes. This is when you get all your dreams and things that you never even believe you could have happen, is when you're happy. And when you're happy doing something, there's no limit to it. When you're upset or you're not happy in a job, you just get confined. You just do enough. It's just, I'm just going to do enough just because. You're happy as you can withstand being a thunderstorm, shooting New York reel. You know what I mean? Because you love this. And like, you may do an interview with somebody that may say something that will help somebody else in their livelihood and making them happy, or maybe even save a life. You don't know. Looking at you and saying a question you may ask, or your response, or you know what I mean, can invigorate the person you're interviewing. Like we never know with life. So if we don't confine ourselves into one thing where we're unhappy, you're not, like, nothing more can come from it. Like, you're gonna just be stuck. So once our body flows, and the world and anything in it is limitless. So that's how I feel. Just make sure what you do, you're really happy with.
You combined love and
happiness together. Yeah, definitely. It comes in one. And gosh, love, happiness that's the only reason why we're living, right? Who wants to, what do they say? It takes more muscles in your face to frown than it is to smile. Like, right? Like, it's contagious, and it's just, I don't know. It's just always good. Everybody should always want to feel good, you know, and pay it forward, right? So why not? We're living this life. We're in these vessels. Let's just make the best of it. Shoot.
Going back to the energy, yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's all in one. Whatever we give off into the universe, regardless if you believe in higher powers or not, one thing stays true is what you give out, you feel back and you receive. Always. You walk around upset, okay? You're going to be upset, and only negative things are going to happen.
We know when we work with a group of people, like on set, when the top give pressure down, and everyone just keep passing that on.
Yeah, and it rolls and rolls and rolls.
It is a talent to stop that and change it and then give out a different energy.
It's true. It is. And it's something that you have to keep in mind and want to do, and know and be alert when this is happening. And know that, you know, like you said, something is happening from the top. Negativity, or like, we got to change this, or I need you to do this now. This is not your issue. It's that person's issue. So like, okay, do what you got to do, But you don't have to do everything with a smile. I'm not trying to be like Mrs. I am the monk. Everybody, Buddhist, here we go, like Mother Mary. I'm not that. But yeah, change shit so that it gets to where you want to be. You control your energy and the universe that you want to put out. If somebody wants to be a Debbie Downer, let them do that. But doesn't mean that you gotta be. We're not followers. None of us. We all need to be leaders.
I want to go. Woohoo!
Yeah. Yes, we should all strive for that.
We need that in New York City.
We do. Totally.
We forget.
Very much so, because there's so much happening.
Most of the time when people are upset, it's not about you. It's about them, and we can choose to control that energy that we give out, that we bounce off.
Absolutely. Just bounce right off that bitch and be like, boom, I'm out. This shit right here, not for me. No.
And we have the choice to choose to.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
So, third question. What is your favorite memory of New York City?
Oh, my favorite memory of New York City. Wow.
You can share more than one.
Okay. I love to eat. And I love going right at Prospect Park here in Brooklyn on Sundays. Is it Sundays now? Saturdays, they have all these food trucks. I love going, I was about to say me some food truck food, but like I love going to these food trucks and like sampling all these different things, because it's like a lot of times it's these people who own these trucks can't afford a store, can't afford a restaurant, but they're like, this is what I have and I'm putting in a truck and I'm gonna drive to people and feed you. I love that. So I love eating. So I love eating out of food trucks and experiencing those. I love day parties. Any day party, especially Sunday brunches in New York, downtown, Manhattan mainly. I love. Gosh, there's so much. And I love the clubbing. What am I talking about? Oh my gosh, I love to go out and club. So I'm everywhere. I go to this place called of late. Gosh, what's it called? Max Fish. I go to Max Fish. It's in the Lower East Side. I go to B&M Thursdays. It's in like an all old school reggae underground spot. Oh, and I love lounges. Love. My favorite restaurant that turns into a lounge too is oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of it. Pazzanotte. I love Pazzanotte. It's an Italian restaurant. It's got great music. I think that's actually one of my favorite things is just music and food. And lots of drinks. Yes. Yeah. True New Yorker there for that. That's me.
I love it. We're gonna go out sometime.
No, we do, without a doubt. I'm actually gonna come to your show, and then I'll take you guys out. But yes,
it's August 11th.
I will be there. I will completely be there. Without a doubt, I'll be there.
Is there anything we missed about Tanisha?
Let's see. Anything?
How can people contact you?
Oh yeah, how can they?
How can anyone contact you for advice or work?
Well, the good thing is hit me up on...
Are you on Twitter? You are.
I am, but I'm not. Okay. I don't go on Twitter. I'm funny. I'm very shy. I like to talk to people one-on-one. I get really shy when it comes to a big platform. So I do have a Twitter account, but I don't actually go on it. So I won't even bother with that. Hit me on Facebook and Facebook Messenger, so it's direct. So we can talk.
Do you have a Facebook page?
I do, and it's just my name, Tanisha Scott.
Like.
Yes, it's Tanisha Scott. Yes, on that. But hit me up on the Messenger, and I will respond. I always do, as well as my Instagram. If you DM me, I will respond. But yeah, I'm always open and willing to give people advice and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna put together a website, just like how I'm trying to do a reel. But just with that, with general questions about how to make it, advice on how to audition, anything that has to do with dance choreography, you know, getting into the business on that and what you should do, shouldn't do, the way you should look. Like, I got you. I'm like, I got you, boys and girls. No problem.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yes, this is great. This is great.
And you are still so humble.
Oh my God. Well, we have to be, right? Like, I don't know. I'm no better than the next person. I just love what I do, which makes me happy. And I try to keep healthy and keep saving to be wealthy enough to give, not just have financial wealth to do whatever, but like love and giving wealth so I can give more experiences and more education and advice and help uplift and look out for like new dances, new choreographers, new whatever artists.
Everyone's gonna love this episode so much. All my artist friends.
I hope
it is
so.
for everyone, not only dancers.
Yeah, it's just
passion.
It's passion. Totally.
Thank you so much for being on New York Real.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor. Yeah. It's an honor. Thank you, honey bunny. Thank you. I love what you're doing too. So, and thank you for being patient with me as well. It's like, this bitch, if you don't, I'm gonna stop being real nice to you and I'm gonna not be your friend, Tanisha. That's what you should have said. Like, bitch, figure this shit out. So
no, I'm very persistent.
I love that.
Are you in town? Are you back again?
Because you're a fucking New Yorker. That's why. That's what we gotta be. That's what we gonna get shit done. So yes.
I love you.
I love you more. Knitting Factory. I'll be there. I promise you that. I will. And you'll see me with my sign too. I'm like, that's my boo. That's my boo. I know her.
You're gonna come back to New York when you are having book signing events.
Oh God! You see, you're gonna be persistent with that too. Oh gosh.
I'm gonna fuck you.
It'll be crazy. I'll be dope. I'll be done. Music cartoon. Yay!
You're looking for a higher love inside of me. The world can often act like a friend of me. Don't get ahead of me. Your love, my love, our love. If you wanna call it love, you gotta give it something more. Back down the path of least insistence. You left behind